Well, a very good afternoon, everyone, and thanks so much for taking time out of your day to join us today. My name is Sandy Elson, and on behalf of the travel professional community and travelprofessionalnews.com, I want to welcome all of you to today's webinar and thank you for being here. We have a really exciting and helpful presentation for you today, hosted by Passport Online. Passport Online is the industry leader in delivering comprehensive digital marketing solutions to travel agents. This includes websites, email marketing tools, and social media programs, all geared to work for and with the travel agent community. Our speaker today is Amanda Cabeceras, Social Media, Business Development, and Marketing Coordinator for Passport Online. Amanda's topic today is Learn How to Make Your Website Work for You. Along those lines, Amanda will be discussing a special offer for those of you on this webinar today, so stay tuned. Before we get started, a reminder that we welcome your questions. You can type in your questions at any time in the question area you see on the right-hand panel of your screen. When Amanda is finished with her presentation, we'll get to as many questions as we can. Also note that at any time during this webinar, you can send in a request for more information. If you look at the handouts area on your dashboard, that's the panel on the right-hand side of your screen, there is a link to click on in handouts where you can download a file containing the link to use to request more information. That link can also be found in the chat box at the bottom of your dashboard. So now I'm going to turn the microphone over to Amanda so she can get started. Welcome, Amanda.
Thank you so much for having me today. We're excited to be here. So thank you all for joining us as well. We're going to talk a little bit today about website programs like Sandy mentioned, and I did want to kind of reiterate that link that she spoke about that's in the chat box and also on that handout. That if you at any time just want some more information from Passport Online, please click that link and we will get back to you as soon as the webinar is over. If you have some specific questions, you can add those in there as well. We also will do them in the Q&A at the end, so please feel free to reach out to us. If you've joined us before in previous webinars, we've talked a lot about why it's so important to have a website. Today we're going to spend some time talking about a few different things you can do to really make your website work for you. So, once you've gone beyond that step of having one, what can you do to make it work for your business? Passport Online has many tools available that can allow you to build not only a website, but a website that's really personalized and customized to support your business. So today we're going to spend some time talking about how to build a website that both showcases your specialties, highlights destinations around the globe, but also helps your customers explore your preferred suppliers and cruise and vacation options. So to do that, we're going to cover 8 components of a great website. For each of these components, we're going to show you a few examples of current websites that are actually Passport Online websites to really help make the point of what these components are. We're going to show some live website examples because I feel like that's really the best way to understand and really learn about what we're talking about today. And hopefully you get some great ideas. Throughout this webinar as well, like I said, we're going to be showing some examples of our next site websites. These are the Passport Online website programs. But as you're going through this today and you're listening, think about your own website and kind of do some inventory on your own site. Make sure your website's checking all of these boxes and hitting all of these steps. And then at the end of this, go through and shop your website. Visit your website as if you were your own customer and you're seeing it for the first time. Make sure it's really representing your business in the right way. So obviously there's lots of things you can do to add to your website to customize it. We're just going to talk about some 8 general components of a great website. So the first component of a great website is compelling photos and images. In the restaurant industry, it's said that people go to restaurants for the food but return for the service. In the travel industry, customers will engage with the travel agent for the content and products, but they will return for the service. In this case, incorporating compelling images, photos, graphics, and other visual elements on your website can really go a long way in enticing a customer and even creating a certain level of brand loyalty. This is because visitors that are visiting your website, they tend to prefer multimedia content. So compelling photos should include eye-catching photos, graphics, and videos. And they should also be high-quality images that are on brand. If you sell if you sell a lot of cruises, it would not make sense to have snowy mountains. And then the flip side, if you do a lot of, adventure travel, it should tailor to those. So your images should be on brand for your business. So we're going to look at a few examples of just some websites that have done a really great job with imagery to kind of tell their story. So here's the first example. That one went away, excuse me. So here's that first example for you. So this one, they have these big, beautiful, sprawling images. You can kind of get a feel, a lot of beach scenes, water, things like that. This is what they sell. And then also down here, they use these tile graphics to highlight a few more of their specialties. So these are really eye-catching. They're easy to look at. You can look at it and kind of understand exactly what you're seeing. And then they're interesting, most importantly. So the second example we're going to look at does a very similar thing. They use images that are all in the same kind of color family. You can see that they're all a little bit different. They're not highlighting cruises necessarily, so you can kind of get a better feel for what maybe their specialties are. But something that's also very eye-catching about this site is that all of the colors tie in together. So the images are reflective of colors in their logo. The logo matches the different color elements of the website, and then as well as the images down here. So this would be just a very eye-catching, compelling photo story for someone who's just doing a quick glance at what this website is. And then the final example of this is just going to be something that's just a little bit different. Again, using these big, beautiful, high-quality images to tell their story. They, again, have these icons that are graphic. They're actually a bit different, as you can see. But this would be something you would stop and take notice. So websites are consumed very quickly by your customer. So this would be something that they don't have to spend a lot of time reading to understand what they're looking for. They can find just what they need. And then they also have a full video library that highlights a lot of their specialties as well. So these are just different ideas as you can incorporate multimedia into your site to tell your story a bit more. So the next, we're going to talk a bit about search filters. And it's really important for your website to have straightforward search filters. They should be easy to use, and people should be able to put in any or all of the information they have available and come back with some expected results. So these can include travel type, obviously. If you want to cruise, you don't want to be looking at vacation packages and things like that, and vice versa. Destination, of course, different brands that they have a preference to, ship even, length and date, and then budget. So ideally, a customer should be able to know one or all of these pieces of information, put them in, and then get some search results that are kind of what they're expected. So I'm going to give you an example of what that would look like just to kind of highlight this a bit more. So here's a search box. This is just a really basic search box that highlights exactly those pieces we talked about. Travel type, destination, you can type in a destination, departure date, or if you wanted to get a bit more detailed, you could do that. And here you can put in a vendor name, the departing city, any specialty interests that might go along with this. And then what's really important about this is if you put in, so let's say we're just going to do destinations. That's the only thing I know is I want to go on a cruise to Alaska. And so I hit search here. And so what's really important is that these search results are returned to me in the same way that I actually was searching. So I can continue to narrow down my results by those same search parameters. It's highlighted in the same way as I was searching. And so that's just something to make it a really clean, seamless process. So these are search tools that are integrated actually into all of our websites. But straightforward search filters are very important. So next, we're going to talk about customer reviews. Customer reviews are an integral part of all retail experiences, and consumer reviews are an effective sales driver. They give your agency validity, and they're a trusted source of information for users. That's why websites like Yelp is so, so popular, and you refer to it. It's because it's people that are just like you that have had looking for similar experiences. You can go through and you can see exactly what those experiences were, and this can give you an idea of the product you're going to be getting. So here's some examples of different ways you can integrate customer reviews into your website. So in our websites, we have an agent DNA tool, which is an agent profile. We'll talk about that a little bit later, I believe in the next slide. But it accepts agent testimonials and then it formats them in a way that is kind of expected. So a customer would look at this and they would understand that these are testimonials. They would understand these are reviews. And so it's something that's easy to find if you're looking for. You can also allow it to go on different places on your website, so it doesn't have to be just this big long list of reviews. It can be just these little highlights. These are all integrated tools that are in the website already that kind of populate it out for you, which is really cool. And then here's just another example of what this looks like. And then, so if you were to see more testimonials, this was on the home page of that first website we looked at. It would just take you to this list. And again, these are integrated in a way that it's expected, customers know what they're reading, and it kind of helps it be a little more, adds more validity and lets them really just do some pre-shopping, if you will. So speaking of agent DNA, which is that agent profile, we're going to talk next about agent bios. Agent bios are your opportunity to really tell your story and help develop that trust and relationship with current and future customers. And then it also allows you to inform them of your specialties. It's kind of your opportunity to introduce yourself. You can do it with images, you can do it with text, you can tell your story. People, they're going to be making a pretty big purchase with you, and so it's really great that they're able to do that in a way that they can feel like they know you, especially if this is more, the purchase and sale is done more virtually or via phone or anything like that. This just allows them to build that connection with you. So Passport Online has a tool available to all of our agents, Agent DNA. Agent DNA is an integrated agent bio tool that prompts you through the process of creating a bio. So it's basically a fill in the blank that just makes it a really seamless, smooth process for you. And this will result in a biography that's well integrated, professional, and really easy for your customers to use. So basically there's a step-by-step widget that you walk through, you fill out the answers to the information you have. What's really cool about it, if you leave a place blank, it just won't populate, so it won't look like there's any missing information. So it's really tailored to you and your business in that instance. So this is what it would look like. And then if your customer selected this View My Profile, so it has the first, I think it's 300 characters of your bio would show here. This is your image, and this is really cool because the image actually, the tool sizes it for you. So they're all scaled appropriately and will always really look professional, which is very important. And then all of these little pieces of information here, these icons, they're all clickable. So as you can see here, there's a Facebook, Twitter, and website here. Facebook, website, but no Twitter because she doesn't have a Twitter page. So the program just takes that out for you. And so it's not going to bring you to any dead links or dead ends, which is very important for a user experience that's not frustrating. But so if your customer selected View My Profile, this is exactly what this bio would look like. So this would be his biography, his specialties are all listed down here. And then further down, if you had any future trips, they would be listed as well. And then testimonials, as we saw before, would just be listed down here. So this is just a really great kind of one-pager that's built into your website as a seamless integration. That's just really professional and easy to use. Here's an example. If you had more agents, it would do the same thing. And again, here's another, you can see a little bit more information. So the bio, the specialties, the testimonials right here, and then some upcoming trips that you have planned in case you wanted to share those with your customers. So the next thing we're going to talk about is UptoDate Inventory pricing. And I believe this is perhaps one of the most important slides of this whole webinar. if you're going to have offers on your website, you need to have up-to-date inventory with clear pricing, no expired offers, and no hidden fees. So nothing's going to make a visitor leave quicker than, number one, expired offers. That's going to be, it's just out-of-date inventory. Nobody wants to, you're shopping, you don't want to shop with that. But also unexpected charges and taxes. So prices need to be up to date, and they need to be very clear for what your customer is getting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, we're going to go back to those search results, and I cruise to Alaska that we looked at earlier, and then just to kind of talk about what clear pricing would look like. So right here on just the preview of this, you can see that it's $449 per person, very clearly outlined. That includes an additional $250 in taxes and fees. This is non-refundable. If you hover over that, you can see exactly that. So right here, there's no surprises for your customer. They can see everything right away. A few more things to point out on this page. There's other departure dates that are available for this sailing. So those will be listed on the next page that we're going to go to, but again, very clear. And then this is just for one of the cabins. These show all of the different categories that are available. So again, for that clarity, in this particular sailing, there isn't a balcony available, so it's just not listed there. So if we go into more details, this again is that clear pricing. And so we get all of this information in these pricings directly from the suppliers. This will be the most up-to-date information that they have in their system. And as soon as that sailing is sold out, out of date, or anything like that, it'll just be removed from the inventory. So you don't have to worry about those expired offers displaying. It's just kind of self-managed on our end. So you can kind of be confident that you have the most up-to-date supplier information in the system. So again, these are those different sailings clearly broken out so you can see the different categories, all that same information on the same page, all of this. And then another thing that's really cool that I just wanted to touch about while we're here is that all of the information that we have that's available from the cruise line will actually be available on this page for you as well. So this is a really great shopping tool. You can send this directly to your customers. It emails in a really professional format as well. Here's some information about all the different deck plans. You can select through these and see all that additional information here. And then again, all of the information we have available, it will vary a bit from supplier to supplier, as I'm sure you know. But so again, this has a bit of information about the dining experience, some images of what those staterooms are like, and some information about those, which are the things you would like to know about beforehand. And again, all of this is really easily emailable to your customers. And again, we're not going to go through all of these, but it also has some information on the itinerary if you'd like to see that. A lot of times there will be maps available as well. So just, again, my point here would be it's all the information that we have available, and it's always going to be up to date, and it's very clearly laid out for your customers. There will be none of those hidden fees, and that content will not be expired. This is something we see really often on different websites. You put up a special group sailing flyer, and it's 2018 now, and maybe that expired in 2017. That would be something that people just kind of lose track of. So if you have done that on your site, I just encourage you to go take a look at it. Make sure that all the offers that are showing are up to date, because we believe that is a very important component of a great website. We're just going to go through a couple more bits of information, and then we're going to spend a lot of time on the specialized and personalized portion and exactly what that means. But it's also really important to have your contact information displaying on your website. Make sure your customers can find you. You wouldn't believe how many websites we come across on a daily basis that include no contact information. You should include your phone number, your email address, and your hours of operation, and any other applicable information. If you have a storefront, include that information. Whatever might be helpful, and it should be easy for your customers to find and interactive. So go through a couple examples of this. This contact information, so preferred contact methods are very easily accessible on the top of the page. Here's another example. People, you don't want them to have to hunt around to find you. And just one more final example, and then we're going to go into the social media integration. If you've ever joined us on a webinar before, we've talked about how important it is to have your websites and your social media platforms integrated with each other. You know, travelers really like to tell their stories. They like to interact with other travelers, share experiences, make recommendations, and so on. Today, much of these conversations happen in the social media realm on sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and travel companies with user-friendly social media interactions on their website better position themselves to take part in these conversations and really use them as the key driver for customer engagement and online reputation management strategies. So some ways to do this is to make sure your social media is posted clearly on your website. And then you can use social media to share offers and information. And you can also link back to your website from your social media. Make sure that no matter where people are looking for you, they can find you. We've mentioned this in a lot of webinars, like I said. So if you wanted some more information or some more tactics, go ahead and reach out to us, and I can even send you a recording of a webinar we did talking a bit more about social media integration into your website platform. But here's just some basic examples of this. These icons are, you know, they're in a familiar place. People know to look for them at either the top or the bottom of the website. So make sure that you kind of follow those trends just so that people don't have to hunt around for it. Some more examples of that. These would link right back to their Facebook pages, and then those Facebook pages also would have a link to the website. So finally, we're going to talk about what it means to have a website that's both specialized and personalized for your business. I'm going to spend kind of the bulk of the webinar talking about this and showing you some examples of what this really is. It's really important to differentiate yourself from DIY self-service online solutions and instead give consumers highly personalized service recommendations right from your very first interaction with them, whether online, by phone, in person. You know, to do this, pick a few destinations or activities and resolve to be a better expert at them than anyone else. Consumers now have access to so much travel information, particularly at their fingertips via the internet, that when they seek help from you, they're seeking a true specialist. So there's a few different ways that Passport Online can help integrate your specialties into your website. Keep in mind, we're not limited to this. If you have a really, very niche specialty or an idea or a question, most likely we can help you integrate it into your website. So it's just not limited to these ideas. These are just some of the more common situations we run across, but if you have something that's a little bit different than this, we'd love to find a way to help you integrate that into your site to really represent your business. So a few different ways we can help. We can help build pages to support the destinations you specialize in, support your preferred suppliers, and then also your specialties. So destinations, we're going to talk a little bit about this and talk about some of the cool things that we have available to just kind of support you in this. Many agents have destinations that they specialize in, and a lot of them have built entire websites or individual pages around this. So we can help build pages around your destination specialist programs. We can add tailored search results, and we can build custom pages to support that. And we also have integrated destination guides to allow your customers to browse and explore. So to highlight this a little bit better, I'm going to show you some examples of exactly what I mean by this. So this is a new website that I believe just went live. So you can tell here they specialize in African travel, and then also they wanted to include a more broad destination bank. So here's just some world travel. But so this, if you selected that African travel image right there, it would bring you to this page that's built around African travel. The images support that. In that search box we've talked about in a few slides earlier, all of these destinations have been tailored to be African destinations that there's searchable content for in the system. And then they're also highlighted by these icons down here as well. So this kind of incorporates a lot of the different things we talked about today as well. So it has clear searches, easy to use search boxes. Those would be clear search results. And then it also does a really great job of using high quality images that are interesting to look at. And then so if you selected any of these, so we'll just select, let's do Tanzania. This would actually bring you to search results that are tailored to Tanzania. So again, these could be preferenced by your suppliers, they could be preferenced by destination, whatever fits best those results we're looking at. But I just wanted to highlight this as a way you can highlight a destination that you really love selling. Another thing, if you want to be a little bit more general, that you can do, this website does a really great job of highlighting a couple of different destinations. So you don't have to be pinned down to just one, you can sell multiple, obviously, and we can help you highlight each of those. So each of these would go to an individual page for that destination, highlighting that destination, and then the search results would also be tailored to that specific destination. So again, this is just if somebody clicks on Africa, the Caribbean, Iceland, kind of give them what they're looking for. So if you clicked on Iceland, that means you're interested in it. So you want a little bit more information. You want to see offers specific to that. So make sure that it's kind of backed by some really great quality content. And we have all of those tools available to kind of take out, a lot of the guesswork for you in that. We also have this really neat destination program. In a lot of these instances, we work directly with different tourism boards, so we have really great high quality images, content, things like that. So I wanted to kind of walk you through that a little bit and show you exactly what this looks like. This is something that's a free add-on to all website customers at Passport Online. And you also have the ability to buy this if you do not have one of our websites. You can buy this as an add-on to an additional website. So these are different destinations that have been highlighted, and then they all have custom-built pages that have, tailored results. Again, this is that really funny Super Bowl ad that was playing this year, and then it just kind of drills down and gives your customers, these act as a really great kind of shopping and education tool for someone who's maybe just looking for some more information about a different location. So that's something that's really cool. Moving on to suppliers. If you have preferred suppliers, Passport Online websites can be built to support that as well in a few different ways. So all of those search results that we were looking at earlier and those search filters, things like that, those can be adjusted and tailored to support your preferred suppliers. So basically, your preferred suppliers can always get the top slot, and then you can kind of go down in ranking. So you can go through the whole list of suppliers we have available and do that ranking as well. We can build supplier-specific pages or even entire websites in some instances. And then something really cool that we can add co-branded links, which many of you have. And then we can also turn on a free integrated supplier-specific booking engine. This is something that's new to Passport Online, and we are so excited to offer it. We have the ability right now to enable your website for booking with Globus, Short Trips, and soon to be Uniworld as well. And that is something that's just included in your website subscription, and your customers can go online and just book directly. So that's really cool. It's a brand new thing. And those actually come along with some really neat pages that have been built to support that as well. So this would just be where your customers could do that booking. This is an example of also something that we could do to help you build a page if you had a particular supplier that you wanted to feature. It's not limited to Globus, of course. We can do just about any supplier and build a page to really help you sell that supplier that's a great partner to you in your business. So there's just one example of that. Here's an example of an agent. This agent actually has joined us on a few webinars. He has individual websites, or kind of standalone websites that are built to support multiple different suppliers. So this is something you can definitely explore as well if you have those suppliers that you really want to highlight. So this is just an example of the most recent one we've done. In all of the searches that would come back would be tailored to only be the supplier as well. So he has one main kind of website hub, and they all link back and forth and connect to each other. So again, you can get as creative and as specific as you want, and the biggest point would be to make sure that your website, again, is really helping support your individual business. So finally, and this is just a question we get a lot, so I wanted to mention this before we move on to our last piece. You also can highlight the preferred suppliers of your consortia. So we work with most consortias, and the way we get our content in our system, we can set up your website to support your consortia and host agency exclusives. And so those would be displayed first and honored on your website. So for instance, this website is a Virtuoso agency, and they highlight all of their Virtuoso voyages. And this would be the same for all consortias and host agencies as well. So if there were to be an exclusive that were exclusive to you and your consortia, it would actually just be highlighted right here. And so you can see it's designated, the ones that have it, you can find it right there. So that's something that we can do as well, and that, again, we work with most major host agencies and consortia, so if you have any questions about that, reach out to us. We'd be happy to answer those individual questions for you. So finally, we're going to talk about your agency specialties. It's all about selling experiences, and the more unique, the more value you're really adding. So the more clients can get access to special events or people, the more differentiated you are. So some examples of different specialties that we see highlighted a lot are river cruises, vacations, cruises, weddings. You know, a lot of times we see agents who have a website, and it'll just be kind of a generic out-of-the-box website. It's beautiful, things like that. But then when you really get to talking to them, they're like, I really specialize in river cruises. But you would never be able to guess that by looking at their website. So just again, go back and shop your website and make sure that the things that are most important to you, make sure those are really conveyed in your website and that it's super clear to a visitor visiting your website for the first time. So you can do this by highlighting personal expertise. You can create custom pages. You can use images to show those specialties, things like that, different groups you might be selling, anything like that. And then you can also use your blog to share experiences. There's a few benefits to using a blog and a website as well. The blogs that are constantly updated, they give Google more things to search, which in turn kind of helps increase your SEO rankings as well. So here's just a couple examples. These are my last 3 examples, and then we will be wrapping up. This is an agency. We've looked at this site a few times. But here's an agency that specializes in weddings. So here's a weddings page that they have, and then these are some of their preferred wedding suppliers that they work with. So these are some co-branded links that are highlighted on their website. Again, you could build one of these for river cruises. We can actually look at our river cruises page. Here's some different river cruises they work with. Again, highlighting your preferred suppliers, your specialties. You select that. Here's a river cruise page. Again, now we're touching on those very clear, straightforward search filters. So these are river cruise rivers. It's not going to be any information that's not applicable to this particular search. And then some different preferred partners that they have to work with. So those are some specialties you can look at there. Another idea of how you can highlight your specialties would be something that Deb with Be Well Travel has done a very great job of. She has a lot of individual groups. It's basically what she specializes in, and a lot of it is yoga, wine, cruise and wine tasting, craft beer, and then spa. So each of these little sections on her site actually are highlighting a different group, and these are updated often. And then all of these you can actually, your customer could click on and learn more information specifically about that. So this is kind of some custom content, a custom trip sheet is built, and you can highlight this on your website. This is the perfect place to do that as well. And then finally, here's an example of how to integrate a blog into a site. So this agent has had a blog on Blogger for a very long time. And so we found the best way to do it was actually to just integrate that blog from Blogger directly into the site. We can do that with many different types of platforms to use as well. So that's just something really cool, and this gives his customers some really neat reading content and things like that, and reading material, excuse me. And he has some really cool stuff on his site in a very personalized business. Some of the things he also does, he has, he's highlighted all-inclusive resorts. He does a lot in guided tours, Disney as well. And then geocaching is something he actually has a lot of private tours for as well, or trips. So he has those highlighted as upcoming trips right here. And so this is just, you're probably not going to find that on every site, but he does a really great job of highlighting his own personal business in his site. So this one's always really fun to see the new cool stuff he's up to. And if I were his customer, I would probably go look back to just see those things as well. Like, what's the next trip we're going on, different things like that. So all sorts of cool stuff. So here at Passport Online, we have two different websites programs available, NextSite 2 and VacationPort. NextSite were all of the examples we were looking at today. NextSite combines all of the features we discussed today, and it allows you to integrate photos. It includes those straightforward search filters, agent bios, customer reviews, and it will always be up to date with the latest inventory and clear pricing. And it includes integrated social media and contact information. And even more awesome, our customer engagement team is here to help ensure your site is specialized and personalized. So how it works with Passport Online is you'll be teamed up with a member of our customer engagement team. They'll actually do the setup process of the website for you, and then we kind of hand over the keys. You're able to go in and make all of those changes and updates on your own. And if you're not comfortable doing that, you have full access to the customer engagement team, and they'll continue to make those changes for you. So it's kind of a choose your own adventure in that sense. You can decide. We have some customers who, they just don't have time. It's not something they're interested in learning, and they are really appreciative of the customer engagement team, who is just wonderful and so helpful. And then we have customers who really like to kind of get in there and play around and customize it and learn all about it. So whatever fits your schedule and your computer abilities the best is available to you. So NextSite has a $250 setup fee, but as we mentioned in the invitation, anyone who's attending this webinar who's a new customer to Passport Online, we're actually going to take $100 off that setup fee for the entire month of April. So $100 off the setup fee, so you can get a setup fee for $150, and then after that, the website is just $55 per month. And then the second website program we have, where that same special applies to you, so it'd be $100 off that setup fee, and then $45.75 a month, is VacationPort. So VacationPort is great for customers who have had a site built elsewhere, either on a platform like Wix or WordPress, or even a custom-built site. But VacationPort allows you to integrate all of that content, so that supplier content, those search results, the search boxes, things like that. It allows you to integrate that up-to-date inventory to each of your pages. So that's always a little bit confusing. So to best highlight that, I'm going to show you an example of this. So basically, you can see the site looks a little bit different than the ones that we looked at today. This is a site that this company has had custom built elsewhere. And then they've gone through and they've taken kind of the framework of their site and they've backed it with that Passport Online supplier content. So let's see, let's look here and see. So we're selecting their Viking River cruises. Let's go to Europe. And then these search results here, you'll see these look the same as those search results we were looking. So they've gone through, they've integrated it in. So this is great for somebody who has a website that's built somewhere else, but they still really want to be able to integrate in that content. So we have tons of options that are available to you to support you, again, in your business. And then finally, we also have programs available for host agencies and ICs. If you're already a host agency, we have turnkey host agency website programs that include a master site and individual independent contractor replicated sites. And then for agents growing your ICs and becoming a host, we can help you create, really the digital image you want for your business and for your growing IC partners. We have individual independent contractor websites. We also work with many host agencies. So if you're sitting there and you're curious if we work with yours, please reach out to us and we'd be happy to discuss that with you. Oftentimes we have different packages or different website options available to you that are exclusive to you through your host agency. So if you're curious about that, if we have anything available to you, reach out to you, kind of talk about that on an individual basis. And if you already have a replicated site, maybe it's time to upgrade to a full site for your growing business to really support all of that customization and personalization of your site. And we can help you do that as well. So again, anybody who signs up for a website program with Passport Online is eligible for $100 off for new customers through the month of April. We would love to see somebody, some people take advantage of that. It's a really great offer. And if you have any questions, please contact us. You can either do that by reaching out via phone or this email address right here. If you fill out that form, that is listed either in the handouts or in the chat section of the GoToWebinar box. That request will come directly to me, and so we can reach out to you directly and have some individual conversations. And I'm going to turn it back over to you, Sandy.
Okay, thank you, Amanda, for that really informative webinar. That was terrific information. We do have some questions, and let's get to some of these.
Are you still there, Sandy? I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, I think I lost you as well. One of our agents,
we're back.
We're back. One of our agents wants to know if Passport Online offers SEO placement.
So our websites are built to support SEO. So there's some really cool tools that are built in directly to your website to help support different SEO functions. They also come with like image tagging, all of our words are clickable links, things like that. So the websites are built to support SEO, and then beyond that, we do have several kinds of tips and strategies we can share with you to rank higher in SEO and things like that. So we have lots of information, and we'd love to have some conversations with you beyond just what tools we have available for SEO as well.
Okay, great. Can you comment on this? One of our agents said, I have heard we should not use suppliers' names on our website because we are selling our service, not our suppliers. And sometimes having suppliers' names on our websites can direct clients to the supplier's website directly.
Yeah, so that's a great question. I think that would be something that would kind of fall into what is best for you in your business. So a lot of times what websites are used for is kind of like a window shopping. So it allows people to kind of take a passive look at some of the information on your website, see what you have available, different things like that, and kind of use it as a pre-shopping tool. And then the final call to action is to contact you. So if there's suppliers you just don't want to work with, we can remove those from the site. If it's something you're concerned with, we can kind of tailor it down. We do find that many agents do want some of that supplier content. So this would be something that would be very individual to your business. A couple things that I wanted to note, though, is that we do get the supplier content directly from the supplier. So if your customer were to find an offer, say we were looking at that Holland America offer on our system, that all of those pricings come directly from Holland America. So your customer is not going to go to their site and find a better price than they will find on yours, especially if you have some exclusives or preferencing through host agencies or different consortia and things like that. So I would say generally it's safe to have it on your site, but it would go back to that personalization and specialization. So whatever fits best for your business model.
Okay, great. Thank you. Um, an agent wants to know, how do I know that people are able to find me on the internet?
So there is some different steps you would probably, want to take to market your website and things like that. We can kind of walk you through that. A lot of that is with those SEO features that are built into the site already. So a lot of that's already done for you. Something that's really cool on these sites, the Passport Online Next sites, is that there is built-in reporting. So you can actually log in and you can see how many people visited your site on a daily basis. You can see where they came from. Did they find you via Google? Was it via an offer somewhere else? Did they find you on Facebook? Whatever that might be. So you can actually see exactly how many people are visiting your site on a daily basis.
Excellent. Combining a couple of questions here, is there an additional charge for working with a customer engagement person? And will that person also help with updates to the site once it's created?
Yeah, so there is no additional charge to work with our customer engagement team. That is 100% included in your monthly subscription with Nextsite. The customer engagement team, if anybody here has worked with them before, they are phenomenal. They are so happy to help. They're very creative. If you kind of have an idea of what you want to do, but aren't quite sure how to implement it, they are so happy to work with you and try new things and really get it how you want to do it. So to that, you are able to contact them, and that would just be via a simple phone call or email, and they will make all of the updates to your site that you need to make. So it's about a 24-hour, within 24 hours, they will have completed the assignment you have given them, or at least made contact with you about it if they need more information. And again, so you have access to them Monday through Friday during our regular business hours, and there's no limit to that as well.
Oh, that's excellent. And will that
Yeah.
customer engagement team also help somebody craft an appropriate biography of the agent that they want to put on the website?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do that quite a bit. We can help you with some writing or some ideas. We have a lot of resources available. We have kind of sometimes it's the hardest place for people to start. Like, I know I need some text on my homepage, but you just sit down and you look at it and you draw a blank, and it's hard to come up with that elevator pitch. So we have some kind of sample copy that's already written for you. If you would like to use that and tailor it, kind of fill in the blank for your personal business, we can show you some examples of how others have done it, and then just really give you some feedback on it as well, and then we can work with you to create it. So the customer engagement team is here to help with all of those needs.
Okay, excellent. Would ESP be included with a Nextsite website?
So ESP is not included in the price of a Nextsite website, but it is really great if you have both. So for those of you who don't know, ESP is our Facebook product. So ESP will post directly to your business Facebook page for you on a daily basis, post about 3 posts per day. So a lot of times there will be either supplier offers that we post as an ESP post, or it will be, like a destination specific post. Let's say we did a post about the Caribbean. We might actually create some offers in our system or source some offers, or just that post would link directly to offers in the system. So if you had a Passport Online website and the ESP Facebook product, that post for the Caribbean, if there were offers attached, which isn't every offer or every post, but some, if there were offers attached, that would lead them directly back to those offers within your site. If you didn't have a site but you still had ESP, that would kind of just bring you to a blank page that showed all of those offers still the same way we looked at them, and then it would just have some small branding for your agency. So still lead them back to you, but it integrates really well if you have the two of them together.
And how much is the ESP product?
So ESP is $20 a month, and that just requires, it's a month-to-month contract, so you can start and stop it at any time.
Okay, excellent. A couple of more questions. I want to alert our
Yeah.
audience that if we don't get to your question or if you think of something after the webinar is over, please feel free to get in touch with Amanda, and she and her team will be happy to answer your questions and point you in the right direction if they want you to speak to someone else. Amanda, will clients be able to book directly through a Nextsite website?
So I have two answers to that. So we do have a booking tool that would allow you to book all bookable suppliers directly on your site. That's Tandem. There's an additional charge associated with that. If you wanted some more information on that, I'd be happy to share that as well. But since we are integrating some supplier-specific booking engines, currently your customers can book Globus and Short Trips directly through the website, and there's no additional charge for that. And then coming very soon, they can also book Uniglobe in the same way. And that would just be how that works. It would be your registration with Globus. We just honor that. So it'd actually still be just hand in hand between you and Globus, and we just kind of pass information back and forth. So we're not involved in the commission or anything like that with the booking. We're just sharing information back and forth, but that would allow your customers to book those suppliers. A few different things you can also do. A lot of our agents will add in co-branded links. So maybe they don't want the full booking engine, but they do really have a lot of agents who book like sandals, for example. I know I see a lot of co-branded links for sandals. So basically, that would be like an affiliate program between you and sandals that we get integrated into the site. So if somebody clicked on that to book sandals on your website, they could still book online, but they would be in a sandals site that's branded with your agency credentials and contact information and things like that. So there's plenty of ways to integrate booking in as well, and lots of options, and we can kind of discuss those if you have some more specific questions about that.
Okay. Let's take one more question. And again, if you think of other questions, please do get in touch with Amanda, and she'll be happy to help out. Well, actually, two questions. Are the Nextsite websites mobile device friendly as well?
They are, and those are tools we're always working on improving as well. So I know previously they haven't, before I started, they weren't always mobile friendly. So if that's something maybe you experienced before, I encourage you to take a look back. A lot of the tools have been updated to be more modern, and included in that is mobile friendly.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. And last question, are Nextsite websites available to agencies outside of the U.S., like in Canada or other countries?
We do have a lot of Canadian customers, and we have a good amount of Canadian pricing. Those would be kind of some, if you wanted some specific examples of those for different countries, be happy to share those as well.
Okay, excellent. And again, you can jot down Amanda's information for Passport Online that she has, the phone number and the email address for sales at Passport Online, Inc. And everybody will be happy to answer your questions and help you take advantage of these wonderful tools. Our host today has been Passport Online, and our wonderful speaker has been Amanda Cabaceras, Social Media, Business Development, and Marketing Coordinator for Passport Online. Amanda, thank you so much. This has been fantastic information.
Thank you so much for joining us. I hope everybody learned a little bit, and please reach out. We'd love to answer your questions.
I think everybody probably learned a lot. I know I did. And I want to also thank our agents for joining us today. We really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks, everyone. We will see you next time. Bye.